Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Today I have a special deck profile. This right off the bat, this is one of my favorite decks of all time. As many of you would know, I actually did a Miragegaogamon for Ultimate Cup before BT14. I think I can't remember when it was color restricted, and I did really well with it. I think I got top 50 or something like that, and it was a big accomplishment for me, even though it was just top 50. But I didn't want to make this video because there's already so many out there. I'm still gonna make it because one of you guys was asking me for it, and I want to deliver. I have the time and I do have the deck, so why not make it for you guys? All right, so let me start it off. We're gonna play 4 Bukemon moving forward until the ban list. This is your blue deck, blue egg for everything. Gives jamming to anything that yeah, as long as you have Digimon with more sources than one of your opponents, or that if they don't have any Digimon with sources equal to or more than yours. And then for the rookies, we have Gaomon, generic searcher. He searches top 3, 1 tamer, 1 blue tamer, and 1 Gaomon, 1 Digimon with Gaomon in its name. And then I don't know why, but it trashes the rest. Pretty dumb. But yeah, that's what we got. Inheritable, if you have a tamer in play, return one of your opponent's level 3 or lower when attacking. So that does come up sometimes too. Moving on to our second rookie, we play 4 of these. This is the best rookie in the deck. He on play, both of you guys draw 1, so your opponent and you will draw 1. And his inheritable is when an effect adds a card to your opponent's hand, you gain a memory. That's a your turn effect only, once per turn. And it's good when you have the Mirage out. You can just play this and you'll get your memory from the Mirage Gaogamon effect. So yeah, that's why I play 4 of those. All right, moving on to another rookie is 2 of these guys, the Gomamon. Gomamon, start of your main phase, trash any 1 Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, and then this Digimon cannot be blocked. Really good for those decks that have those pesky protection inheritables. You could just trash it and then you know, go off from there. And this opponent's turn inheritable is when this Digimon would be deleted. You could play a Gomamon from your sources, which is going to be this one, you know. And that comes up a lot in this deck, at least on my build. All right, and our last rookie is 2 of these guys. Miragegaogamon. It's just a floodgate to stop your opponent from using their training boost. It's your opponent can't reduce Digivolution costs, and all training boosts are Digivolution costs. So this just stops them from doing that. All right, now we're gonna move on to our level 4s, and we have the best level 4 in my opinion, the Gaogamon from EX4. This is when Digivolving, you return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon into their hand, and then for its inheritable is the same as the Gaomon. You gain a memory when a card is added to your opponent's hand via an effect. This one stacked with this, you get really good combos going off. But yeah, that also gets rid of your opponent's floodgates. And then our second level 4 is 3 of these guys. This one is from the BT14 Gaogamon. It is when Digivolving, if you don't have a Thomas Norton in play, you can play 1. Really good when you go into the Mirage burst mode. I'll explain that combo later. And then all turns, while your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, this Digimon gains plus 1000 EP. Which isn't really relevant because of the Bukemon, but it's still there. It's nice to have. And our last level 4 is 2 of these guys, Leomons. Leomon is definitely needed in this meta, at least at my locals. Actually, I just won last week one of my locals because of this guy. It's really good. This is while you have a tamer in play, it gains blocker, and then on deletion you gain 2 memory and you draw 1. So plenty of times I comboed it with the Gomamon. Digivolve this on top of the Gomamon, and now you have a blocker that will block your opponent's Digimon. You gain 2 memory if you die, and you will play the Gomamon out when it dies, which is really good. It's good against Fenrir, it's good against Wargreymon. It's a necessary card. Then for level 5s, we have one of these guys because it's limited, or else I'd be running 4 of these. When this got limited, I was very pretty mad about it because I felt like it was very necessary, and it is very necessary. But the deck still works around it. But when Digivolving, you can return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to their hand, and then his inheritable is when attacking, if your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, unsuspend this Digimon, which is way better than the other effects on the other level 5s. And the other level 5s is going to be 2 Miragegaogamons from BT11. So this one is actually pretty good. I would run more of these if I had more space, but his effect is when Digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, he's going to gain blocker, and then he gains plus 2,000 DP for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand, which is really good. Late game, you can get him really big. You're going to gain like 6,000 or 8,000 DP just off that Digivolve effect. And then when an effect adds cards to your opponent's hand, unsuspend this Digimon. That's an alternate effect, so if you're at your level 6 and you're suspended, your opponent adds a card to the hand, boom, you unsuspend. Alright, level 5 is going to be this one. This is the BT13 one. This one is if your opponent has, well, when attacking, if your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand for the turn, this Digimon's attack target can't be switched. So it's good for the black or gray with the redirects, or the Bloom Lords with the Cherrymon effects that just redirect. If they had 8 or more, you just say no, that's not happening. You could still swing wherever you want. And his inheritable is the same one as this Miragegaogamon over here. But yeah, it's still relevant because you do find yourself in situations where they don't have like the Gomon stops blocking, but this stops redirect as well. So it's good for like Royal Knight decks with all their blockers. And for our last level 5, yep, you guys predicted it. It is the Pseudomon Ace, from BT14. It's the new Ace card for blue, a level 5. What it does is when Digivolving, you trash any 2 sources from your opponent's Digimon, and then you return something with no sources. So it's also really like good when you have the Leomon out and they think, well, I'm still gonna swing anyways, and then you're like, well, yeah, go ahead, and then you Digivolve onto the Pseudomon and you bounce whatever that was attacking back. So there's a lot of like little combos that you can do, and just sets you forward and sets your opponent back. But yeah, that's I play 3 of these because this is kind of my 4th right here, the limited one. And I do find it necessary to play the other ones at my locals at least, so that's why I have those, or else I'd run this one at 4 as well, but I think 3 is enough. It is searchable by a lot of the options in here, so I see it when I need to. And now on to our level 6s. We have the guy himself, Miragegaogamon from BT11. When Digivolving, you return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon to their hand. And then if a Digimon is not returned to the hand, you get to return the top of their security to their hand. Now, that works around, like, let's say Metal War Greymon protection. So, like, let's say they have a Metal Greymon level 5 with protection underneath and they strip the sources. Well, that it still didn't get bounced back. So you do get to return the top of security to their hand. And then, all turns, when an effect adds a card to your opponent's hand, you gain a memory for each 4 cards. So this in itself is a floodgate. It stops your opponent from adding cards to their hand via search or whatever. The only way they can is only Digivolving. Any other mechanic, they can't unless they want to give up memory. Alright. Now, our only other level 6 is the Miragegaogamon from BT13. Very situational, but it does come up a lot. There's times where you don't have a Thomas out. You couldn't find one at the beginning of the game, and then they have a tamer out. You Digivolve into this, and when you Digivolve, you return one of their tamers. When a card is added to your opponent's hand, then you get to play a Thomas. That's once per turn, all turns. And he himself has Evade. Evade is when you were to be deleted, you can just suspend it to avoid a deletion. So it's very good. It's not a bad card at all, but there's just not enough space to run a second, or else I would. And moving on to our level 7s, we have this guy, the Burst Mode. I played 3. Again, if I had room, I'd play 4 of these. He's he's a very good card, simply because he's an option removal as well. So his effect is when digivolving, you can bounce back any Digimon. Doesn't even specify a level, so just bounce back one Digimon, and then you gain a memory for every 4 cards in their hand. Now it does have Blast Digivolve as well, which is when you were to Digivolve, you return one of your Thomas Norsteins to your hand to make the Digivolve for 0, and then at the end of your turn, you remove the top card of your stack to the trash. So basically, he goes away and goes back to his level 6. But yeah, it's for 0. So like what I mean by he's an option is if they have something on board that you're just trying to get rid of, you could just hard Digivolve this onto your level 6 if you need to, or if you have a Thomas out, just Digivolve for free and bounce it in just to get rid of something. Even if you're gonna pass turn, which I highly doubt. Every time you go into this, you don't pass turn. But yeah, he's a broken card. This is what makes the deck broken. Second effect is when attacking, if your opponent has 9 or more cards in their hand, you get to choose, not by looking at them, but randomly, face down, you choose as many cards till they're at 8, and you bottom deck those cards. So if they're at 9, you bottom deck 1, and so on and so on. And when you do, you unsuspend. So it combos really well with the Tamers. And also these Gaomons over here, when you do it with the EX4 Gaomons, just to add an extra card to their hand and stuff like that. Just so you can continue that loop, because it isn't once per turn. And now on to our Tamers. 2 Thomas H. Norsteins. On play, you draw 1, and main, if your opponent has 8 or more cards, you can suspend this to unsuspend one of your Digimon with Gao in their name. So it doesn't even specify Gaoga, so you can go down to your rookies as well. There's been times where I win with a rookie. I promote with a Gaomon on a Bukumon, swing, check, tap this, unsuspend, and check again, and you win. So very nice. I only run 2 because you only need 1 to win, in all honesty. It is sometimes hard to find, but I needed deck space for the other cards, and I do miss it at times, but I don't miss it as much as I thought I would. And last Tamer, we got the other Thomas, the one that came in BT14. He is start of your main phase. You set your memories to 3 if you're less than 3, and your turn, when one of your Digimon with Gaomon or Gaogamon in its name attacks, by suspending this Tamer, both players draw 1 card. So it's another way to trigger your level 6's effect again. So if you swing with this, you trigger this, and you gain more memory if they weren't able to remove it on their turn. And yeah, so also you combo it off with this. So you swing, you bottom deck whatever cards still are there at 8, you unsuspend, swing, tap a Thomas again, and then you unsuspend by doing it all over again. So 3 is just the right number. You do need to see this card. Down to options, we play the 1 Ice Wall because Miragegaogamon exists right here. And Miragegaogamon. This is just stops them. You'll see like at some point they have like 6 bodies on board, and Miragegaogamon just goes off on 1 turn. So if you think they're going for a game, you just slam this down and it gives you another turn. Alright, and then our second option is 4 of these guys, because you do need this one. This searches your Tamers and your Digimon and your other options. It's mental training. On play, you search the top 2, you add 1 blue, and you bottom deck the others. And you need them. This deck needs to be able to find those Tamers, and this is the best way possible because there is no other way besides the Gaomon. Oh, and delay, you reduce the Digivolution cost by 2. And our last, oh no, not our last, our second to last option is 2 of these guys. Blue memory boost. On play, you reveal top 4, then you add 1 blue Digimon, 1 blue Digimon card to your hand, and then it has a delay of gain 2 memory. Still playing this because it's still a searching card, and there is times where you need memory, so it's very good also. I would play this at 3, but as you'll see, I use the last slot for one of these guys, the Full Moon Meteor Impact. And this guy is basically a Mirage burst mode. It returns the Digimon, and then you get a memory for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand. Now, I wish the security effect was the same one, but it's not. It's actually just to return one of your opponent's Digimon to the hand. and if it was, it would be pretty broken. But yeah, it's just a great option. The hidden security and they won't expect it, and pass over turn or whatever the case is. But yeah, it's very necessary in this meta too. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me for the deck profile. Hope you guys liked it. Like I said, I know there's a bunch of deck profiles out there for this deck already, but I wanted to share mine at least with you. It might be a little different or not, but yeah, I hope you guys like it. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think, what you would change, or if you guys have tried it already. And until next time, see ya.